Good evening, good morning, wherever you are. It's rained on and off here for over half the day. Got a little bit of a break in the rain, and now the people are out setting off their fireworks. Looking at the weather map, looks like most all the bad weather's moved on past. So maybe the rest of the night will be nice. I looked a bit ago and only see a couple people that normally would come here that are live. So see how many I get tonight, if any. Hey, Ken. What's happening up your way tonight? Yeah, I haven't done much all day today because it rained all afternoon. I sat here in the chair and fell asleep. And now, for some reason, half the TV channels aren't coming in tonight. And the only thing I can get is Steve Harvey's Family Feud. Yeah, they're already setting fireworks off here. They did some last night. There's been a few people that have started earlier in the week setting them off. The sad part is half of those that set all the fireworks off are those that don't have any money. They're always saying, they can't afford this, they can't afford that, and whatever, behind in their bills, but they have money for fireworks. And one of the other things too that always gets me, nothing's done about it. Fireworks are illegal in Florida. The only thing that's legal in Florida for fireworks is like sparklers and stuff like that. Anything that smokes or sparkles. If anything that the type that explode, fly up in the air, or whatever, they're illegal. And the only way you're supposed to be able to buy them is if you sign a form stating that either you work for the railroad, I don't understand what the railroad uses them for, or you're in agriculture and you're using them to scare birds off your crops. So it must be everybody in the neighborhood scaring birds off their crops. I guess they got to keep the birds away from their pot plants. It wouldn't be so bad with a lot of people, if they use them and use them sensibly. But I watched one person there setting off some last night. Well, a couple of with his friends and stuff. But they'd had so much to drink they shouldn't have been doing them. And they're even like bottle rockets. They're using those and not watching where they were going. They're bouncing them off the side of vehicles and whatnot. I haven't heard anything from Mike in a while. Is he still on the road or is he home now? I mean, it's been several days since I've heard from him. But the last time I talked to him, he was, I think he said Detroit. I don't remember where it was I talked to him. And And the last time I talked to him one-on-one was over a week ago. When I've talked to him since, in a live stream somewhere, and I don't remember whose, maybe even mine. There's Mike. We were just talking about you. I haven't heard from you in a while, so I wasn't sure where you were. Mike, I was telling you the other day that I hadn't heard from Kyla since way back in March, I think it was. And just a day or so after I told you that, I got an email from her. Yeah, she's still trying to figure out a way to make some money. Not sure what to do it. She's having trouble with paperwork as far as trying to go get a job. Says her birth certificate's messed up. But that's one of the things in the Philippines that I've never been able to understand. Paperwork over there gets so messed up over there. One of my trips when I was over there, I had some paperwork for something that was going on, and I needed to get it registered with the Philippines. I had to send the copy that we had, which was, to my opinion, the original. That's the one they gave us first, but we had to send it to Manila so they could get us an original. Now, how do they take and make a copy off of what you have and then call it the original? It just seems they do everything they do over their ass backwards. Hey, Rena. How's the house coming? Well, that's good. You kind of got off to a slow start, so glad to hear something's moving along for you. Kind of like the girl there that lives across the road there with her mother. That one double wide that where I was showing you they were putting in, where they got the trucks stuck there that time. I did a video on the trucks being stuck first when they were building the pad. They still don't have that finished yet. Oh, they're to the roof already. They made a lot of progress then. I hadn't seen any videos since they were just getting started on the new crew. But the crew that works on hers over there, they'll come out, one day and do a little bit, and you won't see anybody for a week. Then they'll come out and they'll do a little bit, and it'll be another week before they show up. Well, if they're getting the roof on, that's a big start, and then plus they get that on, that gives them a place where they can still be working inside even during bad weather. So that's a big jump forward. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. You'd have to get some videos up showing it, or have you already? I a lot of times don't get notifications, so if I don't go directly to your channel and look, I don't even know you put a video out. I was talking to somebody else last night there about their channel like that. I haven't heard anything for quite a while and got to looking. They had 4 videos up recently that I didn't even know had posted. Now, Rena, you're making this, what is it, 5 bedrooms? I mean, you got to have, enough bedrooms for all your company that's coming. Or maybe, oh, that's no good. You got to have at least 5. Because, when Ken and Maureen move in with you, I'll come move in with you. And I'm sure we can find some others to come move in with you. Yeah. That's my neighbor here beside me. They've got a big double wide, and theirs is 5 bedrooms. Oh, I'm sure she will, Rena. But but she took care quite a while back and made one of the bedrooms an exercise room. She put, like a treadmill in there and some other exercise equipment, just so it couldn't be used as a bedroom anymore. So she would have less company. That's one of the bad things about it. If you have extra bedrooms, you've always got people that want to come and stay. If you have a smaller place, then you don't have people wanting to move in with you. Like my neighbors across the road, they got that place over there, and then her kids wanted, to come and stay for a while until they could get their own place. 5 years later, they're still there. Yeah, Ken and Maureen are going to be on the porch. They need to go get a mosquito net. And then get a drop down tarp for one side for when it rains. Well, if you're staying out on the porch, Ken, you'll always have hot water out there. Just heat it during the day in the sun. Yeah, you put the tarp out there that way and have it hanging. And then later, if you happen to have any storm damage, you can take it down and use it on the roof to cover the roof until you get the roof fixed. It'll already be there handy. An additional charge. I've got one sitting in the background. Who is it? Say something so I know who's here. Yeah, Ken, that would be the only place around you get breakfast delivered by a pajama waitress. And if you plan stuff right, you probably get your new meal delivered by that pajama waitress. Must be I scared that other person off when asking to say something so I know who was there. They left. Well, that's different, Rena. I've never seen you fix pancakes, sausage, and eggs and bacon for breakfast. Usually it's fish and rice. I guess some of Mike rubbed off on you when he was there. You're actually going to fix a breakfast meal. $20 went to 20 pesos. You know that'll never happen, Mike. Rena will flutter her eyes at you and you'll say, well, okay. Yeah, it sounded good. If you really want to get her going, cut her down to only fixing rice, 2 or 3 nights a week. One meal a day, 2 or 3 times a week, so all she gets rice. You'll make her a changed woman. $10 each for eggs. 20 cents. I a lot of times fix scrambled eggs. I think they're just easier to fix than fried eggs. You don't have to worry about trying to turn them, whatever. Just keep stirring them up. Same, I like fried potatoes once in a while too, other than having to cut the potatoes all up. Frying them up is easy. I haven't heard any more on it in a while there, but Biden had made comment here a while back that he was going to drop the federal fuel tax on diesel till I think August to help on the cost of diesel fuel. Now, whether that's actually happens or if it's all talk, you don't know. But I kind of figured the way they keep raising the price of it, you will never know he did it anyways because the increase in price will more than compensate for what he took off. Rena, how much land do you have there where you're building your house? I know I've asked you before, but I don't remember what you said. Rena asked how much land do you have where you're building your house? I don't remember how big your lot is. That's a big drop though, Ken. And the fuel prices make no sense because, like here where I live, the sales tax and stuff on everything is higher than it is in the neighboring county. But right now, our fuel is cheaper than theirs. I mean, you can go to the same brand of station, whether you go to Mobil or, Shell or any of them like that. In this county, it's less than it is, in the next county. No, no, I didn't mean your house size. I meant your yard size. How big is your lot? Do you have 100 hectares there? Mike said he wants to mow grass. Almost 200 what? Almost 200 square meters. Okay. You make it difficult. 200 square meters is 2,152 square feet. So that comes out about 46 by 46. That'll give Mike a little bit of grass to mow. Getting one of the old push mowers that you have to push it to make the blades rotate in front. That can be his daily exercise. I figure if Rena has goats, they won't last too long. She'll have them in the frying pan. and you can take them back to Baguio and sell them. Yeah, you can do that and sell goats, goat milk, and keep your yard mowed. You just have to put up a big fence around the in-ground pool so the goats don't fall in the pool. Mhm. Yeah, and then if you see anybody else trying to use them on YouTube, you can get them for copyright. And you have to leave a corner of your yard so you can put your garden in. Hey, Lee, how are you doing this evening? Yeah, that's right. It is still Sunday, isn't it? Yeah, I didn't get to stay at your live earlier. I was trying to take care of some stuff outside before it rained, and so I didn't want to spend too much time on here. And then when the rain came up, I came back inside. I had laundry hanging out. Had to bring it in, throw it in the dryer. Then I sat here listening to it rain and fell asleep. We got a lot of rain here today. We've had a lot of rain the last couple of days. It's finally cleared off this evening, but it showed rain all around us starting first thing this morning, but getting on, I don't know, late morning toward noon or wherever, we got a bunch of rain, and it just would rain and quit, and it would rain and quit. Did that all afternoon. For those of you that aren't familiar with Lee, there is her channel. She lives here in Florida, maybe an hour and a half, hour from where I'm at. She's another one of those Filipinas that got transplanted to this side of the world. No, Lee, I never go anywhere to see fireworks. You see too much crowds at those places, and then you can't depend on the weather. I have a lot of neighbors that will be shutting them off around here if I want to go outside and watch them. One of the biggest problems I have is then with all the noise and stuff, it scares all my animals out there, so they're all running everywhere and hiding. So I have to go out afterwards to try to find them all and get them all back in the yard or what have you. The ideal way to see them, and I don't know if they have any, where you have your boat at, is if you can be out on the water somewhere and watch them, because then you don't have anybody crowded around you. But I'm not sure if they do any fireworks around Mount Dora or Tavares. They probably do somewhere. Yeah, I'm sure the Villages has a bunch of them, because that's a big money area up there. The Villages is maybe 35 miles from me. She's watching fireworks out your front window, huh? So tonight, Marine's being the little kid in the window. You know, there's just people all the way around here where I'm at that's setting them off all the time. Not as many so far this year as there has been other years. Yeah, you're going north of the villages. I'd be going straight west. It just depends on where you're at. Some places do them different nights depending on what's going on in that locality and stuff. Hey, Robert. I'm doing all right, Robert. Haven't done a whole lot today because the way the weather's been. I did some stuff around here this morning and then killed the rest of the day sitting here in the house because of the weather. I needed to go through and vacuum all the carpets today because of kitty fur, but I didn't get it done. Fluffy, my kitty that's inside, she's along here, so I have to vacuum pretty regular in here because of her. A little earlier, I was outside just putting more food out for the kitties and doing a kitty count. My oldest female, or one of my oldest, I guess it's a couple there. She doesn't stay here much, but she comes in every so often to eat. And then I won't see her for a while, but she's been in and out a lot the last few days. And when she came today, I went outside and I saw her sitting up the road across the road. I called to her so she came running down the road, and a little kitten started following her down. Got about halfway here and then just sat and watched and waited for her. So I mean, she's got kittens up the road somewhere that she hasn't brought home yet. Well, happy birthday, Robert. I remember hearing you talk about that the other day on Sammy's Live, but I'd forgotten when it was. And then one of my other females, she doesn't stay here either. She just comes to eat and then leaves. Wants me to play with her for a while, and then she leaves. But lately, when she comes in, she's been bringing a little one with her. She was bringing two for a while, and I haven't seen but one of them lately, so I don't know if something happened to the other one or what. But a lot of times it'll come and just sit there at the fence and won't come in the yard. And the last couple of days, it's been coming in. Last night I went out and it was sitting up on the front porch um, with the other cats eating out of the food dish. Yeah, that's probably the way it'll be here tomorrow night because my neighbor right next door to me a lot of times puts out a lot of fireworks and they'll get going and go way late. And then the kids, after it's all over with, the kids will be out there and have the stereo going out in the garage. And don't realize, everybody else has gone to bed and they'll be out there 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when the music's still cranked up. And it's not even music that I want to listen to. It's just that crap that goes boom, boom, boom. I don't even consider that stuff music myself. Yeah, we've had them for a few days, setting them off here, Robert. Um, like I was saying a little bit earlier before you came in, they're not doing near as many this year, but I think a lot of it's people don't have the money they had previously. There's too many people that have spent too much time this year not working and whatever, and now they're tight on money. But I look at it, from the point of if you don't have the money, don't spend the money on fireworks. Spend it on what you need to pay your bills. Okay, hey Sammy. I wonder where she was because I saw she wasn't live. Yeah, it's best not to be trying to type when you're riding a bike. Yeah, they are. They're very expensive. And you figure, whatever the stuff cost, you light a match to it and it's gone. So it's kind of in the same sense, you're just burning up money. But it's another one too that I've always heard. I don't have any, so I don't really know. But I've always heard that are expensive is tattoos. The girl across the road there that's just having that new double wide put in. She's already worrying about making payments on it. But she just went out and got 2 new tattoos. People don't have their priorities straight. I mean, you need to take care of, your house, your home, your family, whatever, before you take care of playtime. But there's so many that don't think that way. Did you? I never even got notification for it. A couple others have done live streams today, and when I got the notification and went to see about them, they were already over with. YouTube just seems to be messing up so bad lately. I had thought earlier today about when I did the live stream tonight, said like I put this in here, another rainy day or whatever I said on it. But I originally thought about just calling it YouTube's getting boring. You can't keep up with anything on it because it's so disorganized anymore. Okay, Robert. But with like what you were saying there, Lee, about the fireworks. My neighbor there next door, when they did fireworks, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, he told me afterwards that they had spent over $1,000 in what they set off that night. I mean, he makes good money and can afford to do that stuff, but a lot of people can't afford to be spending money like that. And myself, I can't see spending that kind of money on something, that it's over and done with in just a little while. That's like going to the store and paying big price on having a birthday cake or something made, just because you get it fancy decorated. I mean, the thought is nice, whoever you're doing it for, but damn the money they cost. I went and made a batch of brownies the other night. Cost me just a few bucks, time you got the mix and the eggs and the oil and whatever, to make it all. Run the oven for whatever time it took. What you cooking, Rena? 10:16. To me, it's late for breakfast, but too early for lunch. So, what are you cooking? And for breakfast, I always just have a bowl of cereal. So there isn't no cooking. Once in a while, I get ambitious and I'll fix eggs and toast or something, but most generally, it's a bowl of cereal and a glass of juice. That's my breakfast every day. Yeah, Sammy's got good at what she does with YouTube. But she spent a lot of time on it. Yeah, that first bunch there, the ones that Jill had, she had five, and then she brought home a stray. So I've got six that she's got. I was figuring up the other day because I meant to get rid of them when they were between 8 and 12 weeks old. They're big enough to take away from their mother, and I'd lost track of time on them. They're already 15 weeks old. I need to see about taking them to. There's a place over near here that I think it's called Misfits or something like that, and that's all they have is cats. They take in, and I don't know how they I don't know how they do it as far as getting them out to people, whether they sell them or they just, adopt them out or whatever. I don't know what the requirements are. But they put a lot of time and work into taking care of them and having them, nice. They don't have them in cages stuff. When you walk into the store, the cats are always loose. They're on the floor, climbing around on stuff and whatever. So you're able to just walk through in amongst them, and they're right there. No, I'm in Florida. Monroe is the one that's in North Carolina. But I was wanting to see about taking them, see if I could take them over there and give them to them to find homes for them. I've just got too many, and it's costing me a lot to keep feeding them all the time. I need to start ordering food again. Man, crap. Plus, I use this for fleas, and I need to order that again. But that box there it's got 6 doses in it, and that's, I don't know, about $69 or something, like $67. Yeah, I remember you saying that, but kind of thought, you're a little far away for that. There's another girl in Chicago that wants one too. Only problem is she's probably the one that would probably turn around and fly down here and get it. But her employer that she works for, she does what do you call it? She lives with an elderly lady and takes care of her. I can't think what the hell you call that right now. Yeah, it's around 650 miles going up 95 to the new North Carolina Virginia border from me. But anyways, the lady she takes care of can't have cats around, so she can't get one. Because every time she watches my video, she talks about one cat in specific that. Yeah, and depending on how old a vehicle it is, I don't know, the wheelbase on the newer ones compared to the old ones, they're not the greatest riding on a long trip. Bronco's too short a wheelbase. $95. So that's one of the larger ones, and it's not the little small one that they used to have back in the 70s. That would ride a little better. When I was on the road hauling cars, which if you look at my homepage on here, you can see my truck and trailer on there with a couple vehicles I picked up in Wichita, Kansas. They were going to Georgia. Yeah. Yeah, the old small ones used to have either a 4-cylinder or a 6-cylinder in them. But that truck hauling that trailer loaded like that, I run it, New York, Kansas, or wherever. I only averaged 8.2 miles a gallon with it on diesel. So I know what it's like to spend fuel to travel. And I don't think Mike Roberts is even getting 8 with his truck. I mean, he's hauling a lot more weight and stuff, but we talk about that all the time about the 2.8 6-cylinder. Okay. Now, the 351 that you have in yours, is that the Windsor or Cleveland engine? You're only getting 8 miles a gallon? Wow. Is that four-wheel drive? I would have thought you would have got better than that. You know, in Cleveland, that's your bigger engine, your higher horsepower engine. Years back, I was with a girl that had a '69 Mustang, had a 351 Cleveland in it, and that thing was fast. That was back when I was running my Camaro, and she'd just take off and leave me with that Mustang. Yeah, but with the price of fuel right now, you can't hardly afford to drive it if you're only getting 8 miles a gallon. Because even with my truck, if not hauling my car hauler and stuff, I can get I think around 15 miles a gallon with it. That's hard on them. It's better if you drive them every day; they'll last longer than if you take and leave them sit. A car just sitting around not being used, stuff like your exhaust system or whatever, then starts to rust on you. Because even like with my truck, like I say, I can get 15 with it. I don't drive it that much. Just one, it's easier just to drive the Buick if I'm just going to town or something, and not getting as good a mileage with the truck and having to buy diesel for it. It's just a little bit expensive to just drive around and play with. I need to get exhaust manifolds put on mine. Both of them are leaking. When I was in Davao, that's when Duterte was still the mayor down there, not as before his daughter was, and he had outlawed fireworks in Davao because he said the police couldn't tell the difference between the fireworks and the gunfire. I remember going someplace, I don't remember where it was at now, with my parents when I was a kid, they would have fireworks at one of the local cities or whatever that was along the water, so they could do them out on a barge or whatever out in the water. That way, everything they did was away from people, and being out over the water gives everybody a clear view of it. Yeah, Ken, Mike's probably standing up on top of his semi trailer watching them. That way, he's got an unobstructed view. It's surprisingly quiet here now. There's some fireworks being set off a little bit earlier, but I don't hear anything now. I thought there would be more tonight, being as the rain's cleared up. I've only had a couple come in tonight that only stayed for a few seconds and left. Normally I get 5 every time. So even they're slacking off now. Well, I've run this a little over an hour. I got a real late start tonight. I think I'll go ahead and end this one up. I thank you all for stopping by. And you all have a want to sell any meaty dogs. My neighbor's still talking on shooting his dogs. They keep killing his chickens. When he had them running loose before, when he was on the road and she wasn't taking care of them, they killed off over half of his chickens. And then killed his 2 ducks. And now the little one that they took in as a girl down the road here stopped by, visiting another neighbor, had the dog and didn't want it, and turned around and he said, well, okay, they'd take it. And then after they got it, they didn't want it, wish they hadn't taken it. But it keeps getting loose out of the pen. It's small enough it can find a small hole and get out. And it killed one of the little chickens the other day. But anyways, as I was saying, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this. And thank you all for stopping by. It's good to talk with all of you. And we'll catch you all on the next one. Have a good night, good day, wherever you are.